Howdy folks, and welcome to the weekly comic book snap. Yes, we're back, aren't we, Spesh? We're back. Issue 37 of the snap. And it's the 4th of July, 2018. And it's a massive week, isn't it, Spesh, in comics? Huge week.
Huge.
Why don't you tell us all about it, Spesh? Eh?
Okay, well, first up we have Batman 50. Oh, sorry.
Huh?
No, I was going to do a wedding march.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
Mixed with the Batman song.
Right.
I realised I do not have the skills,
musical talent.
yeah, exactly, to carry that kind of stuff up. So we'll just go straight on to it's Batman. Batman 50. So, yep, Tom King's run has come to the halfway point, if it is believed, of what he says he wants to do, which is the...
Go to 100.
Hey!
There we are, you see? Maths is always my strong suit.
And obviously this is the wedding issue.
Now, we've been building to this one for a while, haven't we?
We have been building to this one for a while, and it's a bit of a weird one to chat about because there's been spoilers of this bad boy all over the Tinterweb since Saturday.
So, are we allowed to talk about it?
Well,
or not?
I think with people coming in today and conversing with those said people, when they're buying it, and I've said things like, "Oh, so have you stayed off the internet?" And they've said, "Yeah, well, I saw something with a spoiler on, so I just stayed away."
Right.
So I think we're best to not spoilerise anything.
Yeah. Okay. Fair
Other
enough.
than everybody dies.
They all fall down a big hole.
That's too much, man.
Damn. Sorry.
Right, but until we get to the hole, before the hole, we have what I think is a really nice Batman book.
Yes. A slightly confusing start.
Well, you got Catwoman.
Yes. Not that.
Oh. The Snickers ad. Our favourite thing in the whole wide world.
You think I would have learnt by now, but no, I was caught out by the Snickers ad yet again.
Well, there you go. Please, DC, stop doing it. Stop doing it.
I found out, I thought this book was actually quite chock-a-block with ads. Or am I thinking of another book? Maybe I'm thinking of another book this week.
Maybe you are. Maybe you're thinking that pages that the story
No,
ads.
no. I think I'm
you
sorry.
sure?
I made a mistake there.
Okay.
I think I'm thinking of another book.
Well, I don't know where to go from that.
Okay, well, let's
go
talk
back
about
in.
the,
So let's talk about the book and not the adverts
Yeah,
that
let's do
somebody
that.
seems to have been
Yeah.
a little bit taken by.
Well, just,
Do you fancy a Snickers?
no.
No, good.
No.
So it's told in a little bit of a confusing way. The storytelling here, all the way through, Tom King has he's been telling two stories, hasn't he? There's definitely been a dual narrative going on
in a lot of these books.
in all that he does, and he also kind of looks back as well on things that he's said before, which brings into that duality. I think personally,
Does
I
Tom
think
King
it
do that in
works.
a lot of his work?
Not really.
More
Other
just the
stuff.
Batman stuff.
I think what he's nailing it on here because there is a very obvious duality to
The character.
well, not just the character, but also the relationship that the character is in with another character who also has that duality. So why not nail it on? I think it's very, very clever, personally.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's done it all the way through, and even with the War of Jokes and Riddles.
Yeah. Very
There was
much
another two, and he was
really effective as well.
It
is
massively
really effective.
effective. And again, with this, the way that this is done is that it is Bruce and Selina penning a letter to each other, but then we also have the looking at them in their day.
In the build-up
to the wedding, which is throughout that one day when they decide, let's just do this, rather than having a
big ceremony,
a big stately wedding. They're just going to do it on a rooftop.
Yeah,
not for the first time.
Hey, hello, naughty. So, but they do that to stop people sort of getting wind of who they are, don't they? They do it as a identity protection technique.
They do, and then when you get the letter parts, it's taken over where they've chosen famous artists from the canon of Batman.
Yeah.
And they've let them do a
Full page.
Yeah, a full
piece of
page, a pin-up,
Yeah.
as it were.
Yeah.
Which some of them are just gorgeous.
The
I
artwork
love.
on those are fantastic.
They are. They're great.
There's no two ways about it.
And I really like the way that the story's told. And in the day-to-day story, I think it's great. We drop in at Porky's, which is just fantastic.
Yeah, look up the Snap archives for
yes,
reference as to what that means.
for what we're talking about. And as always, Janine is on art for the other parts, and as always, his art is on point.
Bob on the money.
I believe. So without spoiling anything, I think we have a lovely book here. And there is a part, it gets a little bit schmaltzy, but it's a wedding, it's gonna be a bit schmaltzy. And
it's not all bad, is it?
no, I like a bit of schmaltz in a Batman comic.
Softy.
And there is a bit with Alfred that just brings a tear to the eye and a lump to the throat. And it's lovely. It is. It's lovely.
Very understated, but really beautifully done, I thought.
It is. And overall, I think that this book is a triumph.
Triumphant.
Personally,
so we were talking about it a little bit beforehand, and I said that the sort of cutaways to the letters I found to be just a little bit of a. It broke up the narrative a little bit for me, and sort of broke up maybe some of the not the overall enjoyment of the book, but just took me out of the story a little bit. And they're quite long letters, and it's revealed a little bit later on that these are the letters. So we read the book the other week, and there was I think it was the Tank Girl, and they had like the poetry sort of section. Yeah. So I kind of I thought it was that to start with. I didn't quite get that it was the letters until a little bit later on.
Okay, well, I don't think you.
And it just took me out a little bit. Just pulled me out the narrative a little bit.
So,
but, that's a minor critique.
Overall, what would you give it
out
of 10?
Book. I think I give it a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Solid
7.5, a solid 8.
Okay.
I'd say solid 8 out of 10.
Solidify that solid.
Yes, let's solidify up that solid. It's I think an 8. I mean, blow me away, but
personally say a 9 just for that.
Without
bit
spoiling it,
yes.
What do you think of how it ended? Were you satisfied, or are you happy with the way it ended?
I think that he is doing lots of things in this, but I think there's an almost a count going on, and he does have this idea of 100.
Right.
And so I think that he uses a certain amount of issues and then bounces back to something, a certain amount of issues after. So you go forward and then back, and then you go forward and back. And I really think it works with the way he writes. So I hope that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. Yes.
And it's done really, really well. And so, because I know that and I've read his work, I wasn't surprised by a character that turns up.
Right.
Because again, it's we've got so far on, I'm now going to revert back to something else that I've said.
Yeah.
And that has helped me really enjoy his run, as we were saying the other week.
Sure.
That I think it's possibly a little bit better than the Snyder and Capullo run.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that at the start.
No.
But because of the way he's placed the cards, and then he goes back to tell you to look at those
really
cards again.
Really intelligent story structuring. And
really, really intelligent. And I think it's done great.
And it's different, and
it's not the final big bang from him.
No.
So if he'd have done the final big bang, where could he have gone after that?
Well, yeah.
So just think maybe could suffer a little bit from overhyping from
possibly.
That I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Brilliant. So moving on.
Moving on now to Catwoman Gets Her Own Book.
Now, how are we going to talk about this one?
Exactly. This is the question, isn't it? So it does indeed say on the front cover.
Yes.
Don't read this until you've read Batman 50, and she's holding a copy of Batman 50.
Yeah. So it couldn't be more explicit on those instructions.
Exactly. So we can't really do too much other than say it's gorgeous.
It is beautiful.
This artwork is just beautiful.
Who's on art?
It's art and written by. I'm sorry for my pronunciation.
That's fine.
Is Joel Jones.
Okay.
And just gorgeous.
What a talented chappie, eh?
Lady.
Lady.
Such a sex. Such a misogynist.
I thought you said Joel.
Joel.
Ah, right. That was your poor pronunciation.
And now you're picking on the north with me.
Eh?
So, this is a book called Copycat.
Yes.
Which could mean that there's other Catwomen getting married to Batman. I don't know. If they got,
it could mean that.
Yeah, we're going down holes that we shouldn't go. We're not revealing anything other than
bit of a reputation for that.
Go out and buy this book. It's lovely. It's great, and
yeah, fantastic. It is great, isn't it? The artwork's superb. Lovely story.
I want to know more about the story.
Yeah.
Yes, there's lots and lots of Catwoman in there, another Catwoman
and it
book.
references back
That's
to
a
the
good thing.
50th episode of the Batman.
It does. So by the 50th issue of Batman, read that
Follow
first.
the instructions, snappers. Do
Exactly.
not wreck it for yourselves.
Another book with beautiful art.
Yes.
Yes, by Lionel Francis.
You.
Sorry. And another name that I can never pronounce.
Tallahassee.
Is it Tanahasi?
I think it's
Tanahisi.
I think it's Tallahassee.
I think there's a little he in there as well.
Okay.
Coates.
Yes.
Mr. Coates,
Yeah.
basically, who cut his teeth on the Black Panther.
Yeah.
And
What was that run like? Because I haven't read that.
For me, too wordy.
Okay.
I think he's
In a word.
but two wordies.
Yeah.
Is because that's just been rebooted and they've put the Black Panther in space.
Yeah.
And from the first issue of that, I think he's learning to cut down on the wordiness.
Cool. Okay.
Although having
And
said
he's
that,
new to comic books, isn't he? So
he is.
He's going to learn,
He is going to learn, and
refine his art, his skills.
he's got someone who can really help him along in Lionel Francis Hugh.
And so telling a little bit more exposition through imagery.
Exactly, and just and really does fit his imagery beautifully around the words. So there are some pages that are a little bit wordy, but I don't mind.
No, I don't think it detracts in this. I mean, I didn't feel it was too wordy.
I think both of them are onto a really good thing here.
Yeah.
It does seem a little bit like the short Wade and Samney run on Cat, which I might be in the minority. I'm not sure it was roundedly well received, but I really liked it. But I just think Samney can draw anything and I'll be all over it. Yeah. But this seems to have kind of ignored their little soiree of taking Cap on a wander.
Yeah.
And it feels very much like it comes straight after the Secret Empire.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is where it picks up where that left off.
Yeah, and that Cap is searching for his soul and how to reconnect with the soul of America when America's trying to refine its soul.
America's very distrusting of the Cap, it seems.
Well, it's not just very distrusting of the Cap, it's also, it's turning to other people that maybe it should be distrusting of.
Yeah.
Because they may have helped out in the end of the Hydra thing. And Hydra are being hunted. You've got nukes in here. You have an X-Men bad lass, a mutant that pops up. There's a lot going on in here. And I really like it.
It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's well.
What I do think about Mr. Coates is that sometimes his writing can be a little bit political.
See, this is what I was going to bring up with you, actually.
Really?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, like, the whole thing feels like, is it an allegory, or just it's for me, it's very clearly referencing
what's happening in America right now, but without the shining it on, because I think that he talks a lot about it being a racial divide.
Yeah.
But there's none of that.
That's not
in
here specifically, is it?
No, but like you say, it's a
yeah.
What was the word?
Allegory, is it?
Yeah, let's go with that, because I can't think of a better one.
No.
Think of a better one. Come on, you're
That's
the
all
man
that's
with
coming
all the
to
words.
That's what's coming to That's all that's coming to my head. But what I was going to say was is that you remember we did that review of the book with I forget his name now, Sam. With the jetpack wings, Captain America guy.
Falcon.
The Falcon, yeah. So and I sort of said my interpretation of that is this.
Yeah, you found
And
it.
roundly, ridiculed by Special for that particular opinion.
Were you though? Were you? I don't believe
kind
I
of think
ridiculed.
that this, in a way, reflects what was being said in that book. Is that, if you look at it and you relate that to sort of what seems to be happening, both in Europe and in America, you seem to get this sort of distrust of institutions, of long-standing institutions.
Massively, and
that's reflected in this with the distrust of Cap and and him.
And a divide. With this, it's not really the rank and file man on the street who is showing a massive distrust
the
of
plebs.
Cap. It's the people who are trying to gender something for their own agenda. I would say.
Right, okay.
Rather, I think the rank and file people, given a chance, may connect with Cap, but there's a middleman that's not letting him get there so far.
Okay, sure.
But it's
a multi-layered book, isn't it?
It is a multi-layered book.
Very well done. Intelligently done.
It looks really, really good.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to be into politics to read it and
really
to enjoy it.
Preachy
And
territory.
it's not preachy at all, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of it.
It should be a good run, this one.
It should be, and it's got. It does have a little bit of a espionage-y feel to it as well, modern day espionage. So let's hope it could be the next
good
Winter
to see
Soldier.
the old general out of prison.
Yes,
Good to see him back.
it's just nice. It's
Yeah.
good to see all of it in there.
Nice.
It's a good one, but we've been rattling on way too long,
Sorry,
and we've got a really good book to finish on, which
Yes.
is after that, it was a great book, but it didn't have bags of laughs. We're going on to something fun.
Funny, fun times.
Fun times. The Cosmic Ghost Rider gets his own book.
Nice.
Yes. So Donny Cates brought the character out in the Thanos run,
Yeah.
which was great, and now he's got his own book, and he is tearing it up.
Yeah, this is good fun.
It's great fun. It made me laugh out loud at least 3 times.
Hooting.
When I first opened it, I've got to say, I was like, "Oh, am I going to get along with this art?"
Yeah.
Hell yeah! By the end of
I
it,
like it, man.
yeah,
it's
absolutely. It gets you on board. It
Fits the character.
immerses you into the character.
Yeah.
So the character is Frank Castle. He's died and been passed around his soul. It's like a football.
Yeah.
Made it to Valhalla, and he's been a bit of a dick in Valhalla. Basically, beating up some gods, and so Odin
noses.
basically says, "You don't want to be
Sling your hook.
do one, son."
Yeah.
And after that, I don't want to tell you what happens because you need to read it because it is very, very funny.
Fantastic, isn't it?
But
Odin's great in this. Super, super
Odin's
funny.
great. Everyone's great. Thanos
yeah.
makes an appearance
Yeah.
in maybe not a way that we see him
would
too
expect.
often. Yeah, and it builds an intergalactic world of fantastic nonsense.
And some really funny one-liners in there.
Yes,
just
absolutely.
some classic lines.
Yeah, it's great. And if it carries on like this, it's going to be an
Beautiful colours
amazing
as well.
run.
Fantastic art.
Vibrant.
Yeah,
It's
super.
a really vibrant, fun, awesome comic book.
Yeah.
Just sometimes what comic books should be.
Fun.
Yes.
There we are.
Yes.
Good stuff. There we are then, snappers. Well, 4 books to spend your beans on. Well done, Spesh. Good roundup.
done
We're
to
going to
you.
change it up a little bit in the future, aren't we, I think?
We are.
So,
I think we're going to drop the weekly. We're
Yeah.
going to pull
Go
out
to-
some other stuff.
pull out some
And,
other shows and maybe go to a monthly roundup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get more viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, snappers, we'll see you soon, so take care. We'll be back. You'll be back. Hey, get out of here.